Hi guys, welcome back to Cooking with Cousin Mel. Today, making Donair meat. So I got my oven preheating to 350. I have 2 pounds of hamburger and my spices here. Put you down a little bit so you can see, because I'll show you what we're going to do with my spices. Here is 2 teaspoons of salt, 2 teaspoons of pepper, 3 teaspoons of cayenne pepper, 2 teaspoons of garlic salt, 2 teaspoons of garlic powder, 2 teaspoons of oregano, and 2 teaspoons of paprika. Now, we're going to use the my mixing bowl to mix the meat, and we're going to do that for probably about 5 to 6 minutes till it becomes mush. Because the more you work it, the stiffer it will be as a log. So I will show you that. If not, just work it with your hands and just keep kneading it. What else? Oven's preheated. Now, if you only want to do a pound of meat, then the spices, cut them in half. So it'd be a tablespoon or a teaspoon for everything. But this is going to be really good. So I'll pause you for a minute and we'll put the meat in and I will be right back. Okay, so I have it in my mixer. There it is there. And I'm just doing that there. So like I said, so it'll stiffen the meat right up. I'm going to take my spatula and just go along the sides of it and move it. And then I am going to add my spices. And I will be right back. Got it going. I just changed my thing a little bit. And we're going to do that, like I said, probably for about 6 minutes. Because you want it like, you want the ground beef like mush. So as soon as I finish it, I will be right back. So it's nice and mushy. Just going to put it on a piece of tin foil and roll it into a ball. Or sorry, a loaf ball. Now you see, it doesn't have to be pretty. Roll it up nice and tight. Don't want any of the juice leaking out. And we're going to put this in the oven for about 50 minutes. And we want the internal temperature to be at 165. So we're just going to put it on a pan, put it in the oven for an hour, and then we'll be back. Just decide to make a cup of tea while I'm waiting for you. Waiting for it. So like I said, 50 minutes to an hour. I still got 40 minutes left, so, and I will be back. So I'm also going to show you guys how to make sauce for the Donair meat. I just spilled a little here, so trying to clean it up. Oh. Spilling. Okay. Now smells like vinegar. So I use a can of sweetened condensed milk. I have a quarter of a cup of vinegar, and I have half a teaspoon of garlic powder. So I got the sweetened condensed milk in the bowl. I'm going to add the garlic powder. Going to mix that around. And then I'm going to add the vinegar slowly. Okay, you're going to mix that really well. And then you're going to put it in the fridge for about an hour and a half. And you're going to put like saran wrap on the top of it. You want to feed it really quick. So that it's nice and creamy. Okay. That's the Donair sauce. If you want to take a little, yum. Now there's another way of doing it. You can use carnation milk, sugar, and vinegar. You can do it that way as well. This way here, just it's simple. A lot easier. So you don't have to use the sugar when you use the sweetened condensed milk, because it already has the sugar content in it. So you're kind of skipping a step. So that's it for the sauce. I'm going to wrap it up, put it in the fridge, and we'll be back shortly. So I'm just going to take it out of the oven, and we're going to test it to make sure that it's cooked through, because you don't want raw meat. Oh, smells amazing. Okay, so I'll put you down here so you can see. Just move it over a little bit. And we're just gonna poke it through. It lost some juices, but might have to go in for another 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Yeah, so I'm going to put it in for probably about another 15 minutes or so, just because the middle part is still, it's just a little a ways from it. So I'm going to stick it back in for about 15 minutes, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I'm going to take it out of the oven. I left it on, I put it back in for an extra half hour, only because where usually I make it a little bit longer, but where it's a little bit, it was a little bit thicker, so it's going to be in longer. If you do make it thinner, then do check it at 40 minutes, but it's usually ready about 50 minutes. So I'm going to take it out now and check it, and we'll see if it's ready. And again, and we'll check it. Yeah, see where it's so much bigger than I usually do it. I usually have a longer. So I might have to go back in for just another probably 15 minutes. So far it's been an hour and a half. And it might, by the looks of it, oh, I'm losing all my juice. So it's gonna have to go back in for another 15 minutes. Because it's just not ready yet. Want the internal temperature to be 160 to 165. And that's not near it. But it sucks that I'm losing my juices because I poked at it. That makes it juicy. So I'm going to put it back in for another 15 minutes and I will be right back. I just took it out of the oven and I'm just here checking it out. And I say it is done. It's 164. Okay. So now that my Donair meat is done, I am now going just to let it sit for probably about a half hour. And then I will unwrap it and I will show you what it looks like. But yeah, so it's all done. And I will be back to show you what it looks like. Okay, so we got it open. I'm going to show you what it looks like. Still going to let it rest for a little bit. But there's what it looks like. And it's still quite hot. So before you cut it, you want it to cool down a little bit. And then have your Donairs. And you can use tomato and onion as a garnish. That's what they usually do around here. So that's it for me for this week, guys. I will see you next week with another recipe. Bye.